Good morning, waking up here in Grande Prairie, Alberta. I'm not leaving quite as early as I have been. It's already about 7:30, and as you can see, I have not loaded up the bike yet, but I'm getting ready to do so. I do gain an hour today on my way up to, I believe it's Muncho Lake. Still got about as many miles as I rode yesterday when I went back and looked at it, about 519 miles. So I'm going to go get things loaded up. It is a little cool out this morning, so I went ahead and put the rain liners in my suit. For two reasons. One, they will keep a little bit more wind out, and two, there is a slight chance of rain later today, but all in all, the weather does look pretty good. It's kind of funny, I was just saying how it's kind of cool out this morning, and I'm going to throw my rain liners in because, you know, it's not supposed to get real warm today. And then I see a guy on a sport bike ride by wearing a t-shirt and a pair of shorts. So I guess I guess when you're not used to 60-some degree weather, it feels pretty warm to you. But anyway, it does actually feel pretty good. I don't know if I'll keep these liners in all day, but really don't know until you get outside of town. Because once you get outside, typically the temperature drops, you know, up to another 5 degrees, and then you know, we'll warm up a little bit throughout the day. But where I'm headed today, they're not calling for a real high temperature, but still should be comfortable. That's a big beaver. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
You guys make your own jokes about this. Comes a busload of old beavers. I missed the sign back there, but there was some sort of I don't know if it was a barber shop or a salon called the Sheared Beaver. Just stopped here real quick for a welcome to British Columbia sign. We just hit the border. They're claiming to be the best place on earth. I guess we'll find out. Coming into Dawson Creek right now. I don't think that has anything to do with the old James Vanderdeek show. But I've got, here in just a minute or two, we'll be hopping on the Alaskan Highway to pretty much just stay on it for the rest of the day, all the way up to Muncho Lake. So I essentially took a little bypass around town, so I didn't have to go through the downtown area of Dawson Creek. And I don't know if you can see it on my GPS, probably not. I have 434 miles on the Alaska Highway, and that's pretty much what I have left to ride today, because the lodge I'm staying at is right off the highway. So let me double check that. Yep, 434 miles. So I just keep going straight, and my place will be on my left, but hopefully we get some cool stuff to see along the way. I don't think I'm in anyone's yard right now. I mean, you can see where there's tracks and stuff over there. I'm guessing I'm not the first person to pull their bike up here and take a picture, and I sure as hell won't be the last. You know, I didn't really mention it, but yesterday in the morning, actually the night before, but before I started riding again, so yesterday was the first day of riding, I converted all my measurements back over to the standard measurements I'm used to. Miles per hour, miles per gallon, all those sorts of things, fuel range back in mileage. I just found a couple of things. One, I found out my GPS, if I still have it set in that, so like right now the speed limit's 100 kilometers per hour, and it automatically converts it and tells me that 62 miles an hour. That was my main concern and why I switched everything over initially from standard over to metric. But the reason why I switched it back is because this already converts for me, so I already know what the speed limit is. I don't have to do the math. But the main reason I switched back over is because I'm just so accustomed to converting everything when it comes to time and miles and gallons. And it's just a whole lot easier for me to look and say, oh, I've got 180 miles left. It should take me a little less than 3 hours. Like, it's just so much easier for me. And the reason it's easier is because I've been doing it for so long. And there's nothing really wrong with the metric system. I just haven't I don't know, I can't think in metric. It's almost like doing another language. I'm fine using metric tools, like wrenches and sockets and stuff like that, but when it comes to calculating distance for a trip, I'm gonna stick to my miles. You always gotta love riding on grooved pavement on a motorcycle, but I've been on worse. This really isn't too bad. Still, you gotta be a little careful on it. If it was wet out, it'd be a little bit different, but I feel the front tire dancing just a little, but I think we're gonna be out of this here pretty soon. Little bit of road work back there, but it actually worked out well. I was able to get a pretty nice picture of from up top the mountain there. Coming down a pretty steep grade at the moment. I'm probably going to go on through this town and maybe stop a little bit later. I'm about 122 miles into the trip so far, and I think it was like 519 I had to cover today, so less than 400 to go. Great. A graded bridge. Again, at least it's not wet out. That's when those things get really nasty. I thought, when I saw that there, I thought we were going over that bridge, but I guess I didn't see this one down here when I was first looking at it. I'm coming into the town of Fort St. John. I do see some clouds up ahead, but they don't look too menacing. Breakfast this morning isn't sticking with me too well, and I'm kind of hungry, so I'm trying to decide where it is I'm gonna stop. But I gotta get a little something to eat, and then I'll get back on the road. Let's go. Some of these Burger King French toast sticks sound like they hit the spot right about now. Alright, this looks pretty good. Alright, so really friendly staff back there at Burger King, and that kind of hit the spot. I had a bowl of cereal this morning, but like I said, it just wasn't sticking with me very well, and still got quite a few miles left to cover today, so helps to be well nourished. Anyway, while I was in there, I got a chance to respond to a couple emails. I got one from Keith. You guys know him better as Alaskan Dual Sport. It looks like we are going to get the opportunity to meet up on Sunday and maybe even hang out a little bit more after that. We'll have to see. But we exchanged cell phone numbers, and it looks like timing's going to work out. I've never actually met Keith before, but it'll still be a familiar face because I've seen him on YouTube plenty. And we've got a little bit of a connection, being in that Keith used to live in West Virginia, so, and then obviously we both like motorcycles, so anyway, I'll stay in contact with him as I get closer, but for today, I mean, I'm under the 400 mile mark, but not much. Got about 390 left to go. I'm not planning on stopping for fuel for a while. My range is about 180 with what I've got right now, so probably in the next 120 miles, if a town works out all right, I'll pull over, get a stretch, get some fuel, and then I should be pretty close to being able to ride that tank to the lodge for the evening. It definitely isn't getting real warm today. This is the warmest I've seen it, and keep in mind we're in a bit of a town right now, so it's always a little bit warmer in town, but it's about 61 degrees out. Most of the ride today has been in the upper 50s, which isn't cold, but it is a little cool if you're not wearing the right gear. Looks like I might have missed a little bit of a shower that was here earlier. You can see, I mean, the tire tracks are dry, but there's definitely some moisture on the ground. It's still holding steady in the mid 50s right now. It's a little blustery out, but I just turned the heated grips on a little bit, keep a little extra warmth in my hands. I'm gonna keep on riding because we got about 5 hours 45 minutes left of ride time left today. Well, I just tried to stop here at this RV park and get some gas because I'm kind of right on that edge of whether or not I can make it to the next area where they have gas stations. Unfortunately, they don't actually sell it there, even though they do have gas on premises. He told me I had to backtrack about 3 miles up the road here, so I'm gonna go get some gas because I only have about 70 or so miles left on this tank, and it looks like the next set of gas stations is probably about 80 miles up the road. Yeah, so alright, so I just stopped back there at Pink Mountain campsite. I met a pretty cool guy sitting out on the front porch named Doug. Doug had his dog out there, Simba, I believe is a German Shepherd. But Doug was nice enough to give me a, you might be able to see it here, it's a mileage marker for how far away everything is. And I gave him a two-wheeled rider sticker, and as I was pulling away, he said he was going to sub. So maybe Doug will chime into the comment section at some point. So I've got nearly 300 miles left still to cover. Missing the gas station put me behind a little bit, but no big deal. Room is booked, paid for, everything's good to go. If the sun were to ever come out, we all know the sunset's pretty late up here, at least so I found out the last few days. So we'll see. It would be nice if these clouds break up a little bit. Fortunately, aside from just a little bit of sprinkles, really haven't had anything in the way of rain. But if we could get some sunlight, that'd be even better. Well, we finally got some sun today, and as soon as it popped out, the temperature jumped about 8-9 degrees, which makes it feel really, really nice out now. And it's just a much better view to look at. So I'm planning on riding, since my last stop's been about 75 miles, I'm planning on riding somewhere right around another 75, 80, I think, before I come to a town of any sort of size. Let me look here. Yeah, maybe 60, 70 miles, somewhere in that range. Gonna pull over, take a quick rest, maybe get a little something to drink, and then that will leave me with about 2.5 hours left of riding to do today. So this guy in front of me on the ST1300, I probably passed him a good 230 miles ago, and then when I missed that gas station and stuff and I had to loop back around and all that good stuff, he was actually headed this direction, and I was headed back south to head back to Pink Mountain. And now as we're rolling into Fort Nelson, I've managed to catch back up with him again. So I assume he's headed north somewhere, and I don't know where he's going. Maybe he'll stop up here and get gas in a little bit. I'm going to, simply because I'm kind of right on that edge of making it to where I need to go tonight, and I'd probably be okay, but I need to hop off the bike for a few minutes anyway to finish out that last, probably by the time I stop, 150 miles. So I just topped off the fuel tank back there, but as I was coming through town, I saw the guy on the ST1300. He was pulled over to the side, and it kind of made sense why he wasn't going any faster than what he was. It looks like he was following that truck with the camper trailer in front of him, so I guess he's traveling along with whoever those people are. Maybe it's his family, I'm not real sure. So I don't know if they're stopping off there for the night or where they're going, but I've got about 150 miles left to go. Do have a few little clouds up there, but for the most part it looks like it's going to be pretty decent, and so figure a little over 2.5 hours to get there. So the big LED sign back there said caution, bison on highway. I don't know exactly where, but I guess I'll keep my eyes peeled. Always like seeing some bison, buffalo, whatever you want to call them, but I'd prefer them not to be in the road. That's a battle I'm not going to win. I'll tell you what, coming around the corner seeing that'll make your butthole pucker up. They don't seem too bothered by me. Oh, little ones don't like me. It is cool as hell. Alright, since I have to go back downstairs and grab some stuff off the bike, we'll give you a quick tour of the room. Little clothes hanging area. Sink's out here. Rest of the bathroom in here. I've got 2 beds, a nice little seating area. It's just real neat finish here in the, I'm staying in the main lodge. And then come out here. My view of the lake isn't quite as good as some of the cabins out here, but still not bad. I don't remember the last time I stayed in a hotel that actually had like an old school key, so that's kind of cool. Alright, so now let's go out in the hallway. This is like the main lodge area. She's topless. The dining rooms down here, they start at 5:30. It's almost 5:30. They serve dinner till 11 at night, and then breakfast starts back up at 7 tomorrow morning. They do have gas here on site. I went ahead and topped off my tank, so if I decide to leave in the morning before they reopen, because the desk shuts down at 11, they don't open back up till 7, I'm already filled up and I can take off if I need to. My poor bike is filthy. I'm gonna get that, get it up on the center stand here in just a minute and oil up that chain because that thing is getting dry. All right, so had dinner downstairs. It was very, very good. Little pricey, but this entire complex is off the grid. They have their own generator system that runs it. They're open year round, and I think it said they bring their groceries in from Edmonton, which is either like 800 kilometers away. So whatever, I'm not really complaining. Excellent dinner. The room's awesome. I just went outside and put the cover on the bike. Holy crap, is it cold out? So I started looking at the weather as I get further up north. It must just be the altitude I'm at right now, because Fairbanks, Alaska is calling for temperatures in the upper 70s to mid 80s while I'm going to be there. So I will have to layer up a little bit in the morning. I'm going to go ahead and take care of like some administrative stuff here this evening with the memory cards and the computer, and maybe respond to a few emails. And then I'm off to bed. Tomorrow's ride is under 500 miles, followed by a really big day after that. So see you guys tomorrow.